given a very rough ride indeed.
As well as complaints of...
This was a party political broadcast for the Labour Party.
Presumably that from someone who hasn't visited an NHS hospital recently. Finally, as temperatures soar and summer beckons, one parent plaintively asks...
I'd be most grateful if you could explain why the Christmas edition of Superman was screened last week. And help convince my 3-year-old that Father Christmas won't be here for another 8 months.
Just tell him, Mr. Thompson, that's show business. Ginger and Fred to play us out.
If you have any comments to make about BBC programmes, please write to Points of View, BBC Television, London, W12 7RJ. Phone or fax 0181 576 4560.
There's a stranger in town.
So polite.
He's Canadian, Ma.
Oh, I thought he was sick or something.
He's going to earn some respect.
Excuse me.
The hard way.
You are under arrest. Hey, Dudley Do-Right. You've got no jurisdiction here.
In a cruel world, he's a little piece of the American dream. Come to life. Due south, Tuesday, 7:45 on BBC1.
Attempting to save the environment and live an independent lifestyle. Meet the Rainbow Tribe on BBC2 now in modern times. Here on BBC1 in 35 minutes, Sue Lawley recalls the dramatic events that led to victory in Europe in News 45. That's after the 9 o'clock news now, with Michael Burke.
The Prime Minister has raised doubts about next week's talks with Sinn Féin after a riot disrupted his visit to Londonderry. 12 police were among those injured. A rocket attack on Zagreb hit a hospital. The Serbs say it was revenge for genocide. Red Rum's 30 and Aintree has been holding a birthday party for the greatest steeplechaser of all. Good evening. The Prime Minister appeared to throw doubt on next week's scheduled ministerial talks with Sinn Féin after his visit to Londonderry was disrupted by a violent Republican demonstration. At first, his trip there was said to have been cancelled because the RUC could not guarantee his safety. But later the visit did take place. Mr Major called on Sinn Féin to denounce the violence before he decided whether the talk should go ahead. Several people were injured in the demonstration, including 10 policemen and 2 police women.
It was clear from early on that the reception for Mr Major in Londonderry wasn't going to be as cordial as his other engagements had proved earlier in the day. A group of demonstrators, most of them Sinn Féin supporters, gathered outside a museum the Prime Minister was due to tour. This despite an expectation that a senior Sinn Féin figure would meet Mr Major and perhaps even shake hands with him during the visit. The police decided to move the demonstrators on. A number were dragged away and a series of violent scuffles broke out. Eventually, the RUC cleared the alley the Prime Minister was due to walk down. A number of people were injured, among them a local Sinn Féin councillor. Rumours started that the Prime Minister wasn't coming, but by then the trouble had already spread to nearby areas of the city centre. As the disturbances grew worse and worse, several police cars were badly damaged.
The Prime Minister must have hoped that his visit to Northern Ireland today would have served to emphasise the positive aspects of the peace process. But instead, the lasting image will be the violent scenes in the centre of Derry this afternoon.
Sometime later, after the situation had calmed, the Prime Minister resumed his planned itinerary. He toured the museum, then threw down a challenge to Sinn Féin.
If one wanted the clearest possible illustration of why Sinn Féin had to pass through exploratory dialogue before it could find itself treated like the other democratic parties, and I think this afternoon at Derry you saw that. Now, I hope on this occasion that now they have the freedom to speak directly to people on television, that Mr. Adams and his colleagues will get on television and denounce in unequivocal terms what has happened here this afternoon.
Mitchell McLaughlin is the Sinn Féin official who might have met Mr. Major if today had turned out differently. Tonight he said there was blame on both sides, but pointed the finger